Okay, we're going to get started on problem solving number 24. A pizza parlor offers two sizes of pizza. One is a 10-inch diameter pizza and the other is a 12-inch diameter pizza. First thing it asks in part A is to calculate the area of each pizza. It also asks us to show all work. So show all work does not mean that we shouldn't use a calculator. It just means that we have to explain where our answers are coming from. So the first thing you need is you need to know what the formula for the area of a circle is. I would look in the back of the textbook, or you can even Google it. I'm sure it would come up. The area of a circle, and I'm just putting a little circle down here so we know what we're talking about, is going to be pi r squared. So let's start with our 10-inch diameter. Sorry for my handwriting. So for our smaller pizza, we're going to take pi, which is 3.14, we'll approximate that for pi, times my radius squared. Well, my diameter is 10, so my radius is going to be 5 squared. So I'm not going to actually sit here and do 5 times 3.14. I'm going to pick up my calculator. So I'm just going to drag my calculator in. The area is going to be 3.14 times 5 squared. Well, that I can do mental math. That's going to give me 25. Now that calculator disappeared. Let's pull it back. I'm going to take 3.14 and multiply that by 25 to get my area of 78.5. Because it's an area measurement and my units are inches, I'm going to say that the area is 78.5 inches squared. The other pizza they're asking us about is the 12-inch diameter. Okay, and the area for that, I'm going to use the same formula. Only in this problem, my radius is not 5, my radius is 6. Remember, in a circle, the diameter goes all the way across a circle, but through the center, and a radius goes halfway. So if the diameter is 12, the radius would be half of that, or 6. So I'm going to say, all right, my 3.14 times 36. Let's get that calculator back here. 3.14 times 36 will give me 113.04 inches squared. So I have shown my work, okay, but I haven't done scratch work. At no point in time did I pick up my pen and think that I needed to do all of this scratch work. Okay, let's go to the second part of the problem. It says the percent of increase in area from 10 inches to 12 inches, so starting with 10 and going to the 12, is 44%. Explain how this was calculated. A good way to explain anything is to use a formula. For this problem, we're going to have to use a couple of formulas. So I need to find the percent of increase in the area of these two. So the first thing I'm going to say is that I'm going to find my area of the 10-inch and the area of my 12-inch. Okay, and obviously we found those numbers here in the first problem. So I'm just going to write them down below, 78.5 and 113.04. We talked about how to find percent of increase using a proportion. So I know I am going to set up a proportion. Since I need to find the percent, I'm going to put x, or my variable, over 100 because that's what I don't know. I don't know the percent, and I know the percent always goes over 100. The original area, well, that depends on the way that these are listed above. It says to go from the 10 to the 12. So then we know from the way that's stated that 78.5 is going to be your original area. The amount that the area changed, well, I haven't found that out. That would actually be my step 2. So the second thing that I'm going to do is find the difference in the areas. I'm going to set that up 113.04 minus 78.5. Again, I'm not going to sit here and do this scratch work. I'm going to pull it up on my calculator and subtract. The difference is going to be 34.54. That difference in area would go over here, 34.54. So step 3 would really be to set up the proportion to solve for the percent. So I would say maybe used proportion to solve for percent of increase. The fourth thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my cross products to solve for x. 34.54 times 100 is equal to 78.5x. If I need to explain where this is coming from, and again, I'm getting a little bit squished down here, so I'm actually, probably isn't best practice, but I'm going to draw an arrow so that we can explain, which we have to do, where this is coming from. For this, I would say that I used cross products to form my equation. I would then multiply these guys together. 3,454 is equal to 78.5x. I'm going to solve for x by dividing both sides by 78.5. That doesn't seem right. I must have hit a wrong button. 3, 4, oops. Sorry, I keep doing that. 78.5 equals 44. So, okay, so our last step here of 44, or sorry, to get 44, we solved our equation using inverse operations. So, forgive my handwriting, it's kind of sloppy. There are plenty of other ways that you could have explained this, okay, probably in a more succinct manner than I did here. This is just one way. Your work is part of your explanation. Those two things are not completely separate from each other. So just because the word explain is there, don't think that you need to write paragraphs upon paragraphs. They're looking for you to kind of explain your logic, and a lot of times showing your work, okay, with an explanation of why you're doing each step, okay, is a helpful way to explain. So I would probably say, if we look at this, our final answer here is 44. This matches up with the original problem. It says the percent of increase was 44. Explain how this was calculated. Okay, and I think that we've kind of connected the dots between the 10 to 12 inch pizza and the 44%. So 44%. Not that they're asking us a question. There really is no question here aside from the explanation. Okay, but it's pretty clear that we've connected those dots. Thanks, guys.